Hey everybody, welcome back. So we're gonna start off this garden planting video today. It was like 88 today and the sun's going down now, so we're starting to get a little shade, but pretty much this has all been tilled. Dad tilled it. There's the tiller there, and I got these. They're 12 bucks a piece at Walmart. They're just black plastic Husky, and there's 2 of them, and I used landscape nails, or like the horseshoe nails, whatever they are, to pin it in the ground. I got a torch here, so we're gonna torch holes in it to plant through. Over there we already have pumpkins and stuff I started earlier on that tarp. That's gonna be potatoes, but I put the hog fence up. That's gonna be for green beans, and then the rest of this will be peppers, tomatoes, and down here where it's lower and gets more water, I might put melons or something. So we're gonna start burning some holes. So with these tarps, over time, you can see this half of it's elevated because the ground's uneven under here from the tiller, and it's sinky because the tiller. So I'm just kind of walking through. Over time this will sink down, it's no problem. Water's gonna get on it. There's gonna be buildup from leaves, you know. I might put compost. So over time this will weigh down. It doesn't have to be flat, it really doesn't matter. Plants will grow no matter what. So this is the first year I've had a tiller in a very long time. So I've been a no-till gardener for a long time now. I had the twist tiller, but actually tilling has not been a thing. So first we got our hog fence here, and we're gonna go ahead and burn a bunch of little holes in, and I'm only doing a small hole for the beans, and tomatoes they get a bigger hole. So we're gonna start right here, and I'm just gonna burn a hole. Don't need a big. Okay. You guys can see it doesn't take much to melt this stuff. So some of the holes might be bigger, but it don't really matter. I'm gonna finish this. All right guys, so as you see, evenly spaced holes all the way through here. That's a lot of holes. So I'm gonna plant the tomatoes and peppers first. Try to get the green beans done. I don't know how much I get done tonight, but we'll see. Basically I was measuring with this stick. I put this point on a hole, lay it over towards this way, and wherever this angle hit, right on this point, I put another hole. So they're pretty even, which is good. I don't need that stick now. So I'm gonna go grab a flat. The ones I'm planting in here are from the Amish Center, so I'm gonna go grab that now and a shovel. So I don't know what it costs near you guys for a flat of vegetables, but that was 16 at my local Amish greenhouse. And as you can see, these are some nice ones. So just that little tiny corner, there's 4 plants here, decent sized. And those are the sweet banana. I'm growing these for my friend. We don't really eat those. I can't eat them on my diet now, but if I lose enough by the end of the year, I'll switch to normal keto, and I'll be able to have some of this stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna pretty much go through. The soil's been tilled, but I'm gonna do like a light till under there, and then we're gonna stick the plants in. But got to make sure to water these after, because tomorrow is 86 and sunny. So let's start with these peppers. We're gonna do these 2 rows here with peppers. So let's get them going. I gotta get my ducks off the road. Okay guys, so we just got one in. These are Big Bertha sweet peppers. Pretty much when you pull them out of the cells like this, you want to split the bottom so that these roots can travel downwards, because you can see they start doing like a square, and they will just continue that sometimes, and they stay root bound. So you want to split open the bottom so that you can see those roots spread out. And these peppers had 2 leaves here. On any of these peppers I have, if they've got good foliage on top, you go ahead and you take off any leaves past a certain point. That's just what I do, so I can bury them a bit deeper. So right here I just dug out the dirt. This was obviously tilled. I'm gonna stick it in there. I'm gonna come back in with fish fertilizer about probably 2 weeks from now. Once he's established, I'll do a dose of fish fertilizer. Now when we were tilling here, well, Dad was tilling, and I had my compost that I made myself from last year and the year before, and I went ahead and was throwing it out of the pit with a shovel. And there's a lot of wood ash in there, so there's lots of that in here. And yeah, so don't worry about getting tons of dirt and stuff on the tarps. It really doesn't matter. All right, guys, so things are starting to fill in around me. So a lot of planting, but I just want to show you real quick. This is how I'm doing tomatoes. So once again, you can see right here, see these little bumps? These will turn into roots. The more of the stalk you bury in the ground, the more roots you're gonna have. So we're gonna take off this bottom leaf so we don't get no problems with fungus. And this one's a little lanky and low, so we're gonna take that one off. Once again, fluff it up. And we're gonna bury it to about here. And that's all gonna turn into roots. So we're gonna have roots here and all the way up. It's dark, but those are all plants. It is absolutely loaded with plants. I just gotta go plant the watermelon, and I've got jade, bush beans, and Space Master bush cucumbers. So we gotta plant those on that hog fence. But all the tomatoes are in the ground, and the peppers. So we're gonna be planting sweet corn. So as you can see, it got real dark in the last clip. It was like 10 or something when I was done. But pretty much in between this pumpkin tarp and that garden tarp, there's this little row here, and it goes all the way up. So what we're gonna do is put in 3 nice rows of sweet corn right along here. We're gonna go ahead and I've got my hoe here. Got this last year, it's a nice one. And I'm gonna this has all been tilled already, but I'm gonna kind of fluff it up, and then we're gonna make 3 rows and get the corn planted. Once again, it was 85 today. It's just too hot. All right, so I know it's pretty low light out here, so let's turn our phone light on here. But you can see those 3 dark indentations there, and that is from I just made 3 rows. I went through and weeded it again, even though it was tilled, there were still some weeds. So I went through, weeded it out, tilled it with the hoe a little bit, and then I made these 3 rows. So all we're gonna do is go through. Here's our seed. Last year was the first year I've ever successfully grown sweet corn. So I bought this corn last year, but I still had some left. This is incredible sweet corn. And ignore the light. I know it's blinding you right now. But all we're gonna do is, I bought these last year, so they're still fine. But we're gonna put them in here. And the thing with corn is, you get a lot of seeds for a low price, you know, so don't worry if you're over sowing. You can always go back through and pull out and kill ones that, you know, are smaller or whatever. So I'm just gonna go through and try to keep them, you know, kind of center and uniform. And like I said, if they're too close, all you got to do is go back through and you can weed some out. So now you can see those little red seeds. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, cover it up. Tomorrow we got storms, and the next 3 days we have storms, so these will really soak. Alright, so the corn is planted. I put this at the end of the row because this is all going to be potatoes. It needs tilled more, so I'll know where the corn is. So right there's where the corn stops. And that's planted. So now I'm at the pumpkin tarp, and on the end here, there's a little bit of space left. And another thing to remember is when you're planting vines like these pumpkins, this will be absolutely covered. Even one plant on this entire tarp, which it goes way over that way, one plant on this tarp would completely cover it. So usually with the vines like this, I just put a bunch, and then, you know, they kind of fight each other, but for the most part, all the leaves are able to get sun. So it does get over cluttered, but it's good because right here are my squash and pumpkins, and right here is the row of corn. So what I'm going to do is the 3 sisters method, and you plant pumpkins or squash or some sort, you know, something like that underneath your corn, and then you plant green beans, and the green beans will climb up the corn and you can have them. But then the squash will cover the bottom, keep moisture down below, and it will, you know, cover it so the weeds don't grow up. So obviously, you know, on the tarp here, they love it. But I will eventually, once the corn comes up and is big enough, I'll plant some pumpkin seeds down in between. So yeah, I'm just gonna plant a couple more things. I've got extra squash because we get squash bugs bad, and I don't use pesticides. So I figure the more I plant, the, you know, better success I'll have with the squash. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple holes in here, plant these, and then that should be it for a little bit here until potato time. Yeah, I'll wrap up the starting video today, and pretty much I just want to show you, it's been a little bit of time since you last seen this. So these are starting to get established. I've had some problems with pest, but I don't use anything to battle pest. I just don't. I don't even use organic pest deter. I only use organic compost and fertilizer sometimes. So here's the peppers. They're doing okay. I had some sun scald, but it's hard to tell depth, but I believe they're getting established with roots, and once they establish, then I'll put some of that organic fertilizer in. But for now, they're doing well. Watermelon, I've always had a hard time, but we'll see. I'm gonna really mulch these soon. The sweet corn is just coming up. You can see it. That's sweet corn right there. It's here and there. I'm gonna let it grow before I weed it out. The peas I'm having a little bit of trouble with. They are also, never mind the one today, they're growing really weird. So I'm gonna actually re-till all these holes and then add some more dirt on top and then put the bean in there. So they're just being weird. They're coming up and they're like turning brown, so some kind of fungus or something like that. Back in here, only one cucumber has come up so far out of all of them, so I gotta plant some more seeds. But today what we're working on is, that's our fire pit there, but this is the potato patch. Dad just tilled it, and we're gonna get it all planted in. I've got 10 pounds of, I think it's red Pontiac, and we'll see how much that covers. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this tin prop back up. That's just to keep the grass away, and then we'll start setting in potatoes. All right guys, we got helper Ian here.
What up?
And last year when I dug potatoes, I think Damien was here. So something with potatoes and my friend's showing up. But we got 10 pounds of red Pontiac. I like these, you get more of them. I just like the red varieties, but I still have 15 other pounds. So I do chaos gardening with potatoes. They don't like being buried, like at all. They like growing on the top, but you have to cover them. I usually do a tiny bit of dirt and then straw the rest, because they like growing right across the top almost. So I'm gonna throw these in here and then I'll show you before I bury them. So I know some of you are gonna be triggered. We understand these are way too close, but this is my only spot that's been really tilled and is fenced in here. So all 25 pounds of potatoes are in this spot. So you're supposed to space them out decently, but they're still gonna grow. So we're gonna go back through and cover them, and then I'll come back through and straw them. All right guys, so I did all this myself, and no, Ian helped a lot. This probably would take me another hour or so, but see, we got to walk way around it. The tin's there just to keep that grass out because it's field grass, but there's now duck coop straw on it. So there's crap and everything in it, and it's not so strong, so it won't kill them, but they'll get good fertilizer from it. So we'll see. So I'm not sure if this will continue on to another video, or this might be the end of this one for this garden video, but there's going to be more. So all right.